So, what if you could build a really complex web app, not by hammering out thousands of lines of code, but just by having a conversation? Well, today we're getting a first look at a brand new project from Google DeepMind. It's called Antigravity, and it promises to do exactly that.
And right out of the gate, you can tell they're not thinking small here. This quote, it's not just some corporate mission statement. No, this is a declaration that they think they're fundamentally changing the game. They're not just trying to build a better tool. They're trying to create a whole new kind of creative partner for every single developer out there.
Okay, so to really get what they're building, we first have to understand the problem they're trying to solve. And look, for any developers listening right now, this is going to sound really familiar. What's the biggest pain point in how we build software today?
It's this. It's basically the digital version of juggling. You know the drill. Your day is just this constant frantic jump between your code editor, then over to the terminal, then you're checking the results in a browser, all while trying to remember what that design mockup looked like. Every single switch breaks your focus, that deep work state, and all those little breaks, they just add up and absolutely kill your momentum.
And that is precisely the chaos that Antigravity is built to fix. The whole idea is to just get rid of that fragmentation. They want to create one single intelligent product surface that brings the entire development process into one place.
So what is this thing really? Well, imagine if your code editor, your AI assistant, your project manager, and your web browser weren't all separate apps you had to juggle. Imagine they were just different parts of the same smart system. That's the core idea of Antigravity. It's all of those things seamlessly rolled into one.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work when you're building something? Well, Antigravity organizes your entire workflow across three main areas that are all deeply connected. These are your three main views: the agent manager for the big picture stuff, the editor for getting your hands dirty with code, and the browser to see it all come to life. Let's dive into each one. First up is the agent manager. You can think of this as your mission control. It's kind of like being an air traffic controller for your AI agents. From here, you can spin up an agent to build out your front end, maybe another one to work on the database, and you can see the progress of everything in real time, all from this one high-level dashboard. Next is the editor, and this is where that human-AI teamwork really comes alive. The AI agent might get a feature, say 90% of the way there, but you can jump right in here to add that final 10%. You know, the finesse, the polish, and you've got these superpowered AI tools like Tab Autocomplete helping you every step of the way. And this is where it gets kind of wild. The browser isn't just a window for you to look at your app. It's a playground for the AI itself. You can literally sit back and watch as an AI agent takes control of the cursor, clicking buttons, filling out forms, and scrolling around to test the very code it just wrote moments before. It's amazing. And all of this points to a really big shift in how we think about our work. Antigravity isn't just a set of smarter tools. It's a whole new way of working, where you have an AI partner that actually takes on huge chunks of the development process for you. I think the best way to think about it is like multi-threading your brain. While you're focused on the really tricky stuff, like the core architecture or some complex logic, your AI agent can be working on a bunch of other things in parallel. It could be researching an API for you, designing a few logo options, or running all the tests in the background. Okay, but this brings up the million-dollar question, right? If you've got an AI writing code and running tests all by itself, how in the world do you keep control? And maybe more importantly, how do you actually trust that it's doing the right thing? Well, this is crucial. Antigravity tries to build that trust through total transparency, using something it calls artifacts. Basically, it's a clear paper trail of everything it does. So you get a live task list so you always know what it's working on. It gives you an implementation plan that you have to approve before it writes a single line of code. And when it's done, it gives you a final walkthrough to prove the job was done right. All right, so the theory is pretty cool, but let's see what this actually looks like. We're going to walk through how they built a real app, a flight tracker, from basically nothing more than a sentence. And it all starts with this, a simple conversational prompt. There's no complicated setup, no boilerplate you have to write. You just talk to it. You describe what you want in plain English, and the agent just gets to work. And this is when you start to see these little magic moments that honestly feel like they're from the future. You ask for a logo, and poof, it designs several options for you. You watch this blue cursor just start moving around the screen, testing the app like a person would. You casually say, hey, it'd be cool to have a Google Calendar integration, and it just goes and builds it. It's unreal. So you can see this whole workflow just unfolds like a natural conversation. You go from a simple idea to a concrete plan you approve, to the AI generating the code, then testing that code, and then you and the AI work together to refine it and add new features. It's a true partnership.
And then, for the final little chef's kiss, the agent does the one thing that most developers hate doing: writing the documentation. It actually looks at the entire conversation history, every request, every change, to generate a perfectly detailed commit message that explains everything it did.
And so here's the result of all that. A whole new web application with a live API, a custom logo, a full suite of tests, all built from a single sentence. Something that could have easily taken a developer days or even weeks is now done in just a matter of minutes. That is a mind-blowing jump in speed.
Which really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. If you can build, test, and polish a complex piece of software just by talking to an AI, does that mean the future of being a developer looks less like writing code and a whole lot more like having a really, really smart conversation?